What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Raider Critique. This is your post-game review for Week 2. The Arizona Cardinals versus the Las Vegas Raiders in Allegiant Stadium. First, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Dirty Low, bro, salute to you, brother. Thank you for being here. Robert Pena, the guy who deserves to be a moderator because he's always at every live that I'm really ever a part of, even when I show up in other people's rooms, man. Robert is there. That dude is a fucking trooper, man. He definitely deserves to be a mod somewhere. He's gonna be a mod here once I figure it out. But salute to you, brother, and Enrique Munoz, my homie from Twitter from way back in the day, my very first follower. Salute to you also, bro. So anyway, we fell to the Arizona Cardinals 29-23. Now, I would love to go over the stats. As a matter of fact, why don't I? Why don't I just go ahead and move it on over here? Because we need to look at some stats over here. Because stats is kind of is the end-all, be-all. I can tell you this, I've got a lot to complain about, but it's nothing, well, maybe just a little bit of what I complained about last video. So let me transition on over. I'm going to get all y'all out the way right quick. And we're going to put the stats on the board. Now the Raiders stats, Derek Carr went 25 of 39 for 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. We actually ran the ball 20 times. One of those being Derek Carr. He had 1 carry for 9 yards. Josh Jacobs had 19 carries for 69 yards, averaging 3.6 yards per carry. Our leading wide receiver was Mac Hollins on 8 targets, 5 receptions, 66 yards. Hunter Renfrow, he was targeted 10 times, 7 receptions for 59 yards. Darren Waller had 8 targets for 6 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Foster Moreau was targeted 4 times, 3 receptions for 30 yards. Amir Abdullah 1 for 23. Devontae Adams 2 for 12 and a touchdown. He was targeted 7 times. And Josh Jacobs, to round it all off, 1 for 12. Hunter Renfrow had 2 fumbles, y'all. 2 fumbles, one of those was lost. And that happened to seal the deal in overtime. We're going to go right back into talking about that too. Interceptions, Amik Robertson had a pick for 7 yards. Rock Ya-Sin had 3 pass deflections. Jonathan Hankins had a pass deflection. Deron Harmon had a pass deflection. And Jonathan Abram, who was all over the damn field again in Week 2, had a pass deflection. Nate Hobbs, leading tackler, 9 tackles, 2 assists. Jayon Brown, 8 tackles, 4 assists. Jonathan Abrams, 6 tackles, 1 assist. Divine Diablo, 6 tackles, 9 assists. Amik Robertson, 4 tackles. Deron Harmon, 3 tackles, 2 assists. Chandler Jones, man, 2 tackles, 1 assist. Andrew Billings, 1 tackle, 2 assists. Kendall Vickers, 1 tackle, 3 assists. Belial Nickel, 1 tackle. Max Crosby, 1 tackle, 3 assists. 1 sack. And of course it was for a loss. Jonathan Hankins, 2 assists. And then Matthias Farley didn't have anything. Mac Hollins didn't have anything. Trent Sieg didn't have anything. Roger Teamer had an assist. And Rock Ya-Sin had an assist. Daniel Carlson went 3 for 3 on field goals, 55 being his long, and 2 for 2 on extra points. And A.J. Cole had 3 punts for a 53.7 yard average, with his longest being 66. It was a hell of a punt he did. Now I'm going to go over here and we're going to look at the Cardinals right quick. Kyler Murray went 31 of 49 for 277, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Darrell Williams carried the ball 8 times for 59 yards for a touchdown. Eno Benjamin carried the ball 8 times for 31 yards. Kyler Murray carried the ball 5 times for 28 yards and 1 touchdown. And James Conner had 7 for 25. Now look at how many people they had above 50 yards here. They had 3 guys above 50. Zach Ertz, 8 receptions for 75. Marquise Brown, who was eating us up all day long, man, 6 receptions for 68. And then Greg Dortch, a dude I've never even heard of, 4 receptions, 55 yards with a touchdown on 4 targets. Dude, he caught all 4 passes that were thrown his way. Marquise Brown and Zach Ertz combined 22 targets. I mean, literally, it showed where Kyler Murray was going with the ball. A.J. Green had 7 targets and 3 receptions for 16 yards. One of those could have very well been a touchdown. Now, we can go ahead and look at their stats all day long, all that we want. J.J. Watt was the only one who had a sack for them, which means, you know, the team pretty much kept Derek Carr, the offensive line pretty much kept Derek Carr clean, man. Prater didn't kick any field goals. But I want to direct y'all's attention over here. All right? Like especially this. 9:38. All right? Our very first possession, we held the ball for 9:38 and scored a touchdown. Held them to a punt after they only held the ball for 4 minutes. And then watch our time of possession. Field goal, 12 plays, 4 minutes, 41 seconds. Got a touchdown on that one. It took us 2 minutes to do it. All right? They throw a pick. We kick a field goal. In total time, we have 1:51. 5:09 for them on the interception. They punt, 1:53. We punt, 1:37. Touchdown. For the Cardinals, they held the ball for 5 minutes and 27 seconds. All right? We hold the ball for 4 minutes and 25 seconds on the next drive and only come away with a field goal. All right? And then they go out on downs on a 4-minute drive. Fourth quarter, we had the ball for 24 seconds, 4 plays before we had to punt. They hold the ball for 3 minutes and 54 seconds, basically 4 minutes, 11 plays, score a touchdown. We have it for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 7 plays. 7 plays. And we have to punt. They run 22 plays on their next drive to tie the game, going 4 minutes and 43 seconds. And they score a touchdown. Get the 2-point conversion because Kyler Murray's back there running around with his like a chicken with his head cut off, and we don't have a single person in spy. And they get the 2-point conversion. Overtime. We held them on downs. They held the ball for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Ran the ball, ran 10 plays for 43 yards. And our defense got them off the field. And then here comes that nasty, dreaded series of fumbles from Hunter Renfrow, which is ultimately picked up and ran back to the house for the Raiders' demise of a game, losing to the Cardinals 29-23. Now, if it's anything that I've been pointing out when it comes to the times, is that the time of possession in the second half for the Raiders, because I've gone over here and I've hit the team to see if it would give me everything for times of possession. And as you can see the goose eggs everywhere. So obviously NFL.com has not updated that yet, but I guarantee that when it comes out, with the way we were running and how we were doing so many 3-and-outs in the second half, they're going to beat us in time of possession. I mean, they literally controlled the clock. They controlled everything, really, when it came to the second half, because I don't feel like we adjusted. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we adjusted at all when it came to the second half. I mean, it was really rough to watch. There were a few bad passes on Derek Carr's part, but he wasn't ultimately the reason why we lost this game. You see, the defense stepped in and did everything they were supposed to do. And even though, you can fault the defense for giving up 29 points in the second half plus overtime, but how is the defense supposed to react and stay on the field for that long when your offense is going 3 and out damn near every drive? By the time they're sitting down with their Gatorade to take a seat and take a drink, they have to put their helmet back on and go back onto the field. Man, you can't win games like that. Seeing what this team was in between the first half and the second half was something I never thought that I could fathom in all of my fucking years of being a Raider fan. I've never watched this team fold like that. We're either consistently shitty or we've been consistently good, but never in the middle of a game have we just fell the fuck apart like that. It kind of reminds me of how it was when Chucky was here, because we wouldn't fucking keep our foot on the gas when we got a good lead. I mean, that's about the closest thing I can say that I've seen to it, but I've never seen anybody just really literally like completely just fall apart. When it came to play calling, when it came to the scheme, there was no adjustments made. I understand we harped on Derek Carr for throwing it at Devontae Adams 17 times. But man, you got to get him more than 7 targets. He's your best receiver. What we're talking about is just spread the ball evenly a little bit more. Now Hunter Renfro's probably hurt. He got lit up like a Christmas tree on the last play of the game, possibly suffering a concussion. Dropping the ball, putting the ball on the ground, and Arizona Cardinal over there taking it to the house. Pretty much, this is their Super Bowl, so kudos to them, man. They fought real hard. But this team looked different. This team doesn't remind me of the team of last year. This team doesn't, to me, the players are the same, but the mood's different. They don't have any grit. They don't have any fight. That letter that I wrote to the team last year, along with a few others of us who did that, came from the heart. And we, even back then of last year, admitted that this team had fight. That we knew that they could do what they ultimately did last season. I don't see that in them this year. I don't know. I just, to me, it doesn't seem like that they're really playing with a sense of urgency. We fall to 0-2, which I mean, let's be real, man. Why would we think that we would be 0-2 right now? Anybody who said that we would start off 0-2 right now is either 1, Nostradamus, or 2, lucky. Because nobody was saying that we were going to start off 0-2. Nobody even thought about the Raiders losing to Arizona without DeAndre Hopkins. We totally looked past the Arizona Cardinals. And we were literally rolling them out in the whole first half just to pretty much not do anything in the second half and let them come right back into the game. We had our foot on the jugular. We had to keep it there. And instead, we did not. So who does that fall on? I understand that the players are the reason, that they're the ones who play the game. So ultimately, they did lose. But where was the game plan? What was the game plan? Because I'm really starting to wonder about this fucking coaching regime now. After everything I boasted about this coaching regime, about how I think that we're headed into the right direction, I don't think Mick Lombardi knows what the fuck he's doing. And I'm starting to see why in the hell all these Denver Donkey fans were laughing at us when we picked up McDaniels. And for real, it's bullshit. in layman's terms, it's bullshit of why we're dealing with what we're dealing with. It's like, you know, we just got rid of one regime who liked to do the same goddamn thing. You know, if you're gonna, if you know anything about MMA, if you're going to apply a guillotine choke, you want to make sure that your fucking forearm goes right up underneath their neck, and then you crank on that bitch and you don't let go until he taps or until he passes out. You don't sit there and hold on to him like he's cradling a baby. To the point to where the dude can finally push away from you and probably lock you up in a omoplata. You don't do that. And that's literally, if this was a fight, that's what we did. That's what this coaching regime did, because there was no sense of urgency at all in the second half. Maybe toward the last 3 minutes, you know, and then in overtime. But even then, as soon as Renfro dropped the ball that first time, why did we go to him again? He didn't look right after the first time he dropped the ball. You know, but Derek Carr went to him again and again. Hunter Renfro coughed the damn ball up, except for this time the ball's now in play. The greatest thing about everything that happened about this game is that we're still going to be good, man. There's still a lot of season left. But this coaching regime needs to start, like, installing whatever they're trying to do, whatever their scheme is. They need to just do it. They need to get everybody on the same page. Because right now, I don't think everybody is on the same page. You know, we have to stay aggressive enough to pretty much fucking own the time of possession. If it's one thing about John Gruden that I do miss, it's because he understood what it was about the time of possession. You know, that's where I'm at with it. I miss Gruden for the time of possession, although Gruden would have did the same shit. But if you own in time of possession, man, 9 times out of 10, you normally win the game. Time of possession is quite crucial. It really is. So I want to welcome everybody. If you're just getting in here, I'm Raider Gunn, man. This is the Raider Critique, and this is your post-game review for the Arizona Cardinals and Las Vegas Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. I do appreciate everybody for coming in here, man. There was a time where I used to only do videos, and I actually never went live. So, you know, actually having people in a chat room now, and I'm actually able to accommodate, put y'all up on the board, and actually be able to answer, you know, and talk to you guys through the chat room. It's a blessing, and I enjoy every bit of it. I'm just glad that everybody's here to come and see me with my sideways hat. I mean, I've been bitching and complaining since last night. You know, I was on Sultan's live, and we gave up a 20-point lead. It's the worst. It's the worst. It's the biggest lead to ever be given up in franchise history. And I do think that all falls mostly 80% on the coaching staff. I mean, when we play normally, like we're playing a mobile quarterback, you want to put your fastest middle-sized dude in a spy. Did we see any of that yesterday? Kyler Murray, man, should have never got a few of those runs. And he wouldn't have if we would have had somebody in a spy. I mean, you know, that's how you fix that. Patrick Graham, you can't look on the damn field and realize that we need somebody in a spy. That's, you know, that's suspect. That's suspect as hell. You know? Why are we running routes on third down that's before the first down marker? That's another one. You know, if we're going to pick on the defense, let's pick on the offense too. There is a little bit of this shit sandwich that everybody needs to take a bite of. It needs to go all the way around because it's all of their fault. For one, I think that it's kind of our fault as fans because we overhyped the fuck out of this team. We overhyped the fuck out of this team because we saw the stars when we got Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones. Where the fuck has Chandler Jones been? I think I read his name on that stat list. What do you have? 1 tackle, 2 assists? Or 2 tackles, 1 assist? I don't know. It's his stats are so lackluster, I can't remember. We had Yannick Ngakoue last year. What was the point of moving on from him when he was a much better fit over here in the silver and black? A lot better than Chandler Jones, who Chandler Jones hasn't done shit. So, I mean, I think it goes around to everybody. The coaching regime needs to eat about 80% of it, and I'm going to say 20% of it's on the players, man, for not knowing the scheme, for not going over to coach during preseason going, hey, bro, why don't you put us in for a couple series? You know, we really don't have the grasp of this yet, even though, you know, we might be looking good over here without pads on. It's a little bit different without pads on. You know, and I said to everybody, you know, back when the season started, we're going 13-4, 14-3. That was the range I had us in. Never in a million years would I would have thought that we would have dropped both of these games, week 1, week 2. I would have said that we would have at least been 1-1. Never in a million years would I would have thought that we would have lost to an Arizona Cardinals team who did not have DeAndre Hopkins. And that's why I'm here. I'm cool, calm, and collected. I'm cool, calm, and collected, even though I really don't want to be. Because this is bullshit, man. I've been talking about this shit for years. I've been talking about this for years. We need to demand better. We need to demand better. Hey, and take care of yourself, Jack, man. Thank you for stopping by. We have to demand better. We have to hold this team accountable. And if we're going to hold the players accountable for everything that they do, we need to hold the coaching regime accountable for everything that they do as well. I don't think this falls on anything Mark has done because Mark has done his job. Dave Ziegler has done his job. This has to do with on-the-field coaching and the players playing the game. It is our fault that we overhyped this team, but they also let us overhype them. And they let it get to their head. They came out there with all pistols firing on the first week, wound up losing. Come out here in the first half of the second week, just guns blazing. Looking like the team from last year, just to fall flat in the second half and lose the game in overtime. Man, you know how long it's been since we've said that the Raiders lost in overtime? We don't normally lose in overtime. Something's different. And I think that everybody needs to be held accountable for that. We need every time we've gone 4-0 in the preseason, and I swear, look it up, man, it never has boded well for the team. I don't like bringing up bad history, but that's real. Every time we've gone 4-0 in preseason, we completely bombed during the season. Completely bombed. And it could very well end up like that this year if this team doesn't pull their fucking head out their ass and stop learning how to unplay the game of football. On paper, this should be the best squad in the NFL. But I guess it's taken a while for them to actually be able to play together with one another under a new scheme to really show what potential they actually possess. If that makes any sense. Because on paper, man, we've got a lot of really good players. We should be mopping teams with the players that we have. They just need to play like it. Stop with the false confidence crap and actually go out there and do your talking on the field with your play. And you got to do it for one full game, man, not just a half of it. So anyway, that is your post-game review right here on the Raider Critique. Week 2, Arizona Cardinals defeating the Las Vegas Raiders 29-23. I hope we get our shit together, man. I really do. I hope we get our shit together. And Raiders, I mean, this is on y'all. You guys are the ones who ultimately lost that game. Raider Nation's undefeated, man. We're always going to be here and we're always going to root for you. But when you guys lose like that, there's nothing we can do about it except for sit here and ask you why. All the money that we dump into that organization year after year after year after year. All those ticket sales that pay your salaries year after year after year. And this is how you treat us. Sometimes I feel like you assholes are trolling us. You know? It does. It feels that way. And it wouldn't surprise me if you had the audacity to do so. But remember, we're the ones who pay your paycheck. Without us, there is no you. And we're not happy with the way you're playing. We're not happy with the way you got your head stuffed up your ass. Get on the field and play ball like you're supposed to. You were selected out of college for a reason, to play in the NFL. Start playing together, and out of respect for the people like everybody in this chat and this fucking podcaster right here and everybody else out there in the Raider Nation who buys your merchandise, who supports you through thick and thin, who sport your logo everywhere we go and even tattoo it on ourselves. We need to demand better because they represent us. You know what I'm saying? And last time I checked, I don't fucking drop the ball in overtime. I never have. You guys need to stop dropping the damn ball in overtime too. And play like the team like you were playing last year when you had some balls about you and a little bit of grit. A little bit of tenacity. Where did that go? Did it go when Rich Bisaccia went and took the job in Green Bay? Where did it go? It's going to be a long season if this is how in the hell it's going to be. And the turnovers are a fucking problem. Goddamn right, Dirty. Man, I ain't seen you in a while. Turnovers are a huge issue. Whether we're fucking putting the ball in the dirt or we're throwing the ball to the other team. We need to demand better, man. It's time. They need to put up or shut up. They dropped all this money. And now everybody out there, all the mainstream media guys who were supporting the Raiders and whatnot, now they're just kicking themselves in the ass, man. They're sitting there telling themselves, man, we should have known better than to trust the Raiders. Because it's been like that with this fucking organization year after year after year. We make the same boneheaded decisions. If Josh McDaniels can't get his head out of his ass and can't keep their foot on the jugular when we've got a substantial lead like that, then, man, we need to move on. We need to move on. As a matter of fact, I think I would rather have Rich Bisaccia back here because at least the team played for him. But there's no excuse, man, with the roster that we have, that we should have lost to the Arizona Cardinals. There's just no damn way. No damn way. I'm still hoping that I'm going to wake up from this fucking nightmare. So anyway, I'm out of here, y'all. I appreciate every single one of you for stopping in. And if this is your first time here and you like the content that I'm providing, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications for more Raiders content during the season right here on the Raider Critique. Now, if you're looking for rumors, hey, we don't do rumors around here, man. I'm not into rumors. We tell the truth with intensity, and we also don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid. So if you're looking for rumors, man, this probably isn't the channel for you. But if you want somebody who's going to tell it to you like it is, you can come right here, man, and I promise I'll keep it nice, but I'm going to tell you how it goes. You know what I mean? I'm going to at least give you a good way, like a good portion of how this may come out, or the negative way. You know, I like to look at all sides of the spectrum because you never know how everything's going to unfold. Maybe this team will finally pull their head out of their ass. These coaches will finally get it correct on what they should be doing. Or we could possibly be looking for a new coaching regime after we give this coaching regime 3 years to get it figured out. There's no telling, but I can tell you this, man. I don't think this season's a wash. Luckily, it's early. You know, hey, if you want the optimistic critique, hey, you know, every time we started off hot, we've always fizzled out. So maybe if we don't start off hot this time, maybe we'll be hot later on. And it'll propel us to get into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. That's being the optimistic me, you know, but it's kind of hard to be optimistic when you lose to a team like the Cardinals with no DeAndre Hopkins. And in the fashion that we lost, a 20-point lead. You can't make this shit up. For real, you can't make it up at all. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign on out of here, everybody. Thank you for stopping in. And just like I say, even though we didn't do it this week, and how we always end the podcast, we didn't do it this week or last week, but it's all about just win, baby. And it's always Raider Nation for life. You guys have a wonderful night, man. Thank you for stopping in.